Hello and welcome to Darkness Ascending presents the North American Amateur Starcraft League, Season 1, the finals, bracket 4. This is actually game number 2 between players Catechin and Beast, both Zerg players, Beast of course in the red, Catechin in the yellow. We are playing Scrap Station, which is a notably smaller map than the last one. The first game was in Metalopolis, and that game went to Beast. It's important to note that the bracket 4 is actually composed of up to 5 games instead of our typical best of 3. So both players using their overlords to scout. Obviously, they already know which position each of the players are in. What they don't know, of course, is what the other player is doing, so that's why we're sending over those overlords. And that's perfectly safe, of course, until you get that spawning pool out. Once that spawning pool's out, you're in danger of that queen, so you need to get that overlord at least off of the creep area as soon as possible. So far, nothing much to speak of. Both players is droning up, as is in typical Zerg fashion. So Beast is also getting a gas and a spawning pool, as well as Catechin. Players essentially mirror images of each other at this time. But you know that's just the way that is with this game. I mean, with any race, we won't actually get to see or have any real insight into what's going to happen until a little bit later. So Catechin now does have his spawning pool up a little bit after Beast. Beast is now getting his queen, same with Catechin, so not really too much to speak of. We're making that pair of Zerglings that's going to be used, which as you can see are already rallied to Beast base, which are going to be used to scout. Obviously scouting is very important to see what your opponent is doing so that you can make the appropriate response. So here we go. Here there's 2 little Zergling scouts. They're going to go and just see what's happening in Beast space. This is because obviously by the time they get there, certain things might have changed from when that overlord was able to scout. But obviously the overlord can't stay there because of the queen. Both queens are out now. Both have gone with the infusion. Obviously on Zerg vs Zerg games, you do not want to put down the tumor relatively early, because obviously it'll help the other Zerg with the speed, so it doesn't really provide you with much benefit. Unlike with other races, it's actually it's not to say you can't use the injection first, but I have been seeing a lot of Zergs opt for putting down a tumor first, because you can build off of that initial tumor without using any additional power. It's actually quite nice, because then you can get a really nice creep spread with only the loss of that one injection. So Beast is going relatively Zergling heavy at the moment while he's waiting on that roach, going for a fast expansion. Catechin looks like he is just straight up one basing. He's getting the roaches really quickly. And it looks like, yes, we are going for a really heavy roach push. Those Zerglings are going to have speed though really shortly. We're seeing a whole heck of a lot of Zerglings. We do see a good amount of Zerglings on Catechin's part, but the primary force is, of course, those massive number of roaches. So looks like Beast is looking to come say hello to Catechin. He did have that overlord spotting out there for him, so he knows what's coming. He knows it's on the way, and he knows it has speed upgrade. So here it comes, and Catechin is looking to block the ramp, and he has effectively. Beast has turned around, said, I don't really care about this too much. Now Catechin also has Zergling speed, so he's not in as much danger as being run past. But he is going to take a lot of, all those Zerglings are going to get lost, or maybe not. Catechin does come to the rescue. It's very odd that Beast is and I'm seeing this. I've seen this a couple times. Is that both players are putting their units directly under the overlord of the opposing player, which seemed to me that would be kind of a silly thing to do. But it's hard to tell sometimes with the way the way that people play. Sometimes you just don't notice these things, and he just wants to get back to a relatively far enough position, but at the same time be close enough in case he wants to hit. As you can see, those Zerglings, they take a whole lot longer to destroy those rocks, which have a 3 armor, so they're, what is it, 5? Yeah, 5 damage is reduced to just 2 damage, but a relatively quick 2 damage. That's going to take a little while, seeing as those rocks are so tough. Catechin is obviously going for a heavy all-in at this point because he only has the 1 base. He has moved up the roaches just a little bit to defend from the encroaching Zergling mass swarm, but he is going to go move ahead and try to kill off those rocks with the Zerglings. But he has, I think, saturated the line in which you can hit those rocks with the Zerglings. So it's going to go down at this rate for the rest of its duration. As we can see, Catechin's very good at mixing up his unit composition. And that's really important because those roaches do a lot of damage. They take a lot of damage, but when in combination with the Zerglings, there's really not much that they don't just absolutely crush. So Catechin is moving forward. He's moving forward with the Zerglings as well. As you can see, Beast is trying to slow down and not engage as long as possible. He does have the 2 bases, so if he can hold on to this, he will be able to overproduce Catechin in the long game. Catechin is moving up the ramp. He is going to go for a big push. That's a lot of Zerglings. That is a huge number of Zerglings, as you can see. They are going. The Zerglings have moved past finally. They're soaking up the damage. They're doing a ton of damage to the spine crawler, and it looks like this. I just can't see Beast being able to recover from this. This is a lot of units, and now with the speedling upgrades, with the middle ramp open, he's just going to have reinforcements with very little time, or very little lag time between attacking and getting those reinforcements, and here they are, and that looks like that's the end of the game. So we are now at 1-1 in the Forge bracket for Catechin versus Beast. As always, if you like these games, please subscribe and rate.